Maybe we do a portal painting today. Just maybe. If we are, let's just decide and let's do it, right? Before we mess around. Before we mess around, let's do it. Just like this. So, welcome to Paint with Josh, everybody. It's Thursday night. Welcome to the Thursday night show. You can see we have a black canvas covered in blue and crimson all over the place. And then I was thinking about doing a portal painting, but maybe not. I don't know. It's almost not big enough for this scene that I want to do. So maybe we'll do a porter painting. Maybe we'll do a portal painting later on tonight. So, gonna do one of my favorite little compositions today because it keeps selling, and I need one for the gallery. So let's come in here like this. A little bit of white paint on the edge of the brush like that, and all depending on where we put those colors, it's gonna react with that white paint. So let's say we had one like this, coming in like that, just a crazy old Aurora. Look at it, it's turning blue and purple and crimson already. Just wicked. Watch this guy. If you don't make those noises, it does not work. I'm telling you, it doesn't work. Boom, slap them in like that, right? All you gotta do. Now, in order to make it look like an Aurora Borealis, since that sure doesn't, I'll tell you that, we're gonna come in here and dab in a couple little things with our brush. All right, just a couple little bits of excess paint. They're gonna streak up a bit longer than the rest of it when we go and hit it with our brush, right? A couple little bits down in here. Just literally popping in the white, letting it sit on there. This guy's nice and gigantic up here, right? Now, all we're gonna do is take a 2-inch brush just like this. A lot of pressure as we swipe them up, right? So these guys up on the top, we're gonna swipe up like that, pull down a little bit, right? This guy down here, boom, a lot of pressure. Pulling him up, streak it up straight through there. Look at all those different little drags and everything. It's fantastic. Just like that. Wicked cool, guys. A lot of pressure as you go up through the bottom. Boom, 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 boom. Just dragging stuff every which way you want to put it, right? Now, some of the times it gets a little bit too mixed in. So say we had some right in here, right? Just going to dab out little bits. Just like this. All we're going to do is add a little bit of extra paint, and then when we streak up, it's going to leave some excess color because there's extra paint right there, right? Boom, swipe it up, change the look. Everything looks awesome. Man, I love this one already. Now, pull down just very slightly at the bottom. That's all you got to do. Then we're going to go put in our just wicked awesome mountain. Going to come in just like that. Wicked cool, guys. Super easy. Super easy little thing. So tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? Gotta know it. Man, tag your favorite sandwich place even. What's it, Jimmy John's? Tag them. Is it Subway? Tag them. All right. That's a pretty cool looking Aurora if you ask me. Just right off the bat, we're gonna take our brush and come out here and just gonna start flicking in a couple little bits of stars and everything just out in the distance. Boom, just like that. Got our whole galaxy painted in what, 5 seconds? If that. Paint a galaxy full of stars in 5 seconds. Could be an attraction. Okay, tell me where you're watching from, guys. What's your favorite sandwich? This one's gonna be a fun one as we throw in our gigantic mountain. Now, in order to create a mountain, what 3 colors do we use to create a mountain? And I've already got it mixed up right here. But what 3 colors do we normally use in order to mix up and create this dark mixture that we made up last night and that we're going to use today? Anybody know? I'll try to pin your comment if you know. Let's see. Anybody? UK, got it. Excellent. Crimson, black, and blue. There you go. Everybody go follow Lexi. Go follow because she knows crimson, black, and blue. So we take up that crimson, black, and blue, we mix it up. And then you just come up into here and just start throwing in the most gigantic mountain you've just ever seen. Just a crazy old jaggedy, sharp, however you want it, right? Doesn't matter. Let it fall off. Take up the whole scene if you want. Up to you. Totally up to you. All we're doing is mushing some of that dark color right down there. Try not to make it look like a pyramid, right? Give it a little bit of life. A couple little bits, couple things here and there. And all we're using is our Aurora Borealis is our backdrop color, right? Just to help our mountain stand out from itself. Now we'll take our brush, and as we all know, the three P's of Paint with Josh, the amount of paint that's on the brush, the amount of pressure that we put on the canvas, right? How far do you want that mountain to grow? All depends on how much pressure you're pulling on it, right? How far are you getting that paint to drag down? Or do you want to start coming down in the other direction this way, right? Do you want it to stay right where it is, or do you want it to extend and grow? All up to us what we want to get it to do. And we have our little directional swipes. Now I'm going to put some paint on there and make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. But just like that, and I have a wicked awesome little mountain off in the distance. Watch how we can just adjust the angle. Watch this. Smushing it, smushing it, smushing it, smushing it, smushing it, adjusting the whole angle up a little bit higher and a little bit softer. Right? Very easy. Remember guys, you can buy this painting right now. It's available for sale if you go to paintwithjosh.etsy.com and search for number 879. 879 paintings. That's a lot of paintings, if you ask me. So we're going to come in here with our little bit of our blue, take a small little bit of that purple, mix it up in there. So go to paintwithjosh.etsy.com and then go over and search in the search bar for number 879, or just type in the word TikTok, and it'll pull up all the paintings that we've done on TikTok. And this is the only one that doesn't have a photo attached to it because it's not completed yet. We're going to take our blue paint just like this, come off the back side of the peak very lightly, start sliding it down, all up to us, what we want it to look like. Maybe it starts rotating over here, right? You get that whole thing that's going to be in the side, in the light. Fantastic. All right, we don't need a whole lot of paint because we're going to end up making this whole bottom bit into a whole bit of fog. A little foggy, misty action. Maybe on the back of these little peaks, we chuck a little bit of blue back in there. Why not, right? Now we'll come in here, we're going to grab up our white. I'm going to grab up the little teeniest bit of blue because you don't want it to be pure white, the furthest away in the distance, right? And if we just mix up the smallest little bit of blue in with that white, look at that. It looks very, very, very bright, and it will look bright white when we come up here onto this dark canvas. Now check this out. Very light pressure, coming back, sliding it down, letting it break, doing what it's got to do, right? Maybe you come out here over those shadows because we decide where we want the shadows to be. Right, so we can go back, we can cover up little bits, maybe save those little sections in there, little teeny slices of darkness that are way back in there, right? Take this guy, swipe him down, just like that, right? You're like, okay, cool. Kind of weird looking though, right? It's all sort of really going in one direction, which I always tell you guys, you don't have to do. You don't have to pull it all the way down that way. All right, so let's go back. Let's grab a little bit more of our white down into here with our rest of our snow, mix it up so it's the same color. Come scrape it up. Now watch, let's come off this way. Start pulling our knife almost straight sideways. Look how you can literally start to bend the earth, bend your mountain. Maybe we pull it over this way, right? Now all of a sudden it's got a little kink in it. A little kinky little mountain over here. I don't know what it's into, but it's kinky. I did say I don't know. It's a kid's show. A little family show, right? Slide that guy way over there. All depends, leaving it all different. It's not the same amount of brightness here as it is here, or here, or here, or here, or here. All different, right? And that's the most fun about it, is when we get all these little differences out there. We get all these cool little things, right? Maybe this guy, I'm going to slide down a bit more, but watch, I'm not going to make this color the same and come over and touch here. And that way it'll look like maybe there's a little drop down right there. Little elevation change if we had our guy up here like that, right? Little elevation changes everywhere. All you need. And eventually our little ocean line is going to be about right there anyway. So we don't need to overdo whatever we're going to do. Very lightly, pulling it off. This wicked cool little mountain back there. Now, the biggest question I get all the time is, how do you paint the mist, right? Thank you for the gifts, by the way. I'm just seeing them right now. How do you paint the mist, right? How do you do the fog at the bottom of the painting? Well, we really don't do anything. We allow the brush to do it for us, right? So let's go wash this brush off. It's got a fair amount of dirty paint on it. So let's go wash that off real quick, and then we'll get into that mist making. So if you've wondered how to make the fog, how to make your mountain look like it's floating, how to add some depth into your painting, just stick around for just a few seconds, and I'll show you how to do it. I will show you how. Remember, guys, if you want to get this painting, it's available for sale. Go to paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Search for number 879. 879. Okay, now we're going to take our 2-inch brush, just like that. All right, we're going to start from the edge in the opposite direction of how we came. So if we had our palette knife, right, and we came down this way, we were shaping our mountain, then over here we started going sideways, and then off this side we were going back the other way. We need to do the opposite thing with our brush. So if we came down like this, let's flip our brush over and start coming up from the side. Just very softly. So soft. A little bit of pressure, right? I don't suggest that the beginners go all the way up to the top, because it takes a lot of our third P of Paint with Josh to be able to get all the way up to the top up there without smushing your mountain up too bad, right? So I don't suggest that the beginners go all the way to the top, but just from the bottom, a couple little swipes up, right? And then we're going to come in here with just the corner of the brush. Pick a corner. Which one do you like, right? This one? That one? Who knows? I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to start tapping with that corner and allowing that white paint to sort of spread out and interact with whatever other colors that are underneath it. All right, coming up, try not to get rid of all of our little details that we worked on right there, our little elevation change, right? Coming over this way, just tapping it in, tapping it in, tapping it in. Turn our brush the other way so we can work up into the mist, into the shadowy side. We'll come back over here and we'll start tapping again. We'll go up and we'll pull it down and we'll come over there. All this little misty bit. Look at how much farther we brought the mountain down, like a whole 3 inches right there. That we're able to get the mountain to extend downward just with a little bit of foggy mist. A little misty action, right? A little bit of misty action. Now let's get rid of our white onto the brush. A little teeny tiny bit. Hey, Jennifer's over in the shop favoriting stuff. Maybe it's this painting. This one might sell. I don't know. You guys got to go over and get it when you want it. If you want it, you got to go get it now. A little bit of extra white. Come in here, just adding a bit of brightness to our mist, right? A little bit of excess paint in there. Get a little bit more onto the brush. Come over here. Ooh, got to be careful. Got to be careful, just like that. Mixing it up. Don't want it to be too bright, right? But now it looks like our mountain is sort of floating out there in space. Just like, do I have a bottom? What's beneath me? Am I floating? What's going on? Just sitting out there having a good old time. So, now here comes the fun part, if you ask me, because I love painting the ocean so much. So, in this scene, we throw a nice little gorgeous crashing wave at the bottom of this ice cold mountain back there. So, if you've ever had trouble painting mountains or auroras or crashing waves, this video is for you, let me tell you. I also have like 3 or 4 other videos on YouTube, much bigger canvases. Same sort of scene, but it never comes out exactly the same. No matter how hard we try, it never comes out exactly the same. I don't know if it's just me or if that's everybody, but I don't know, it's probably just me. We'll come in here and we're going to get up some white paint onto our brush. Just a little bit on the tip of the bristles. Just the tip, ladies. That's where it likes it, right out there on the edge. Right? Not the whole brush, just the tip. And then we're going to come back over here. And we're going to decide out there in our ocean scene, right? Maybe we start coming back like this, just a little bit. Little bit. Don't want to make it too high up, right? Because it's going to run into all of our thick paint. So sort of putting it at the base of our fog. And then we're going to go side to side. Going to get a little bit longer over there. A little bit fatter and shorter over here. Just like all of us getting old age. A little fatter, a little shorter. Just like that. All right, we're going to come in here. We're going to swipe. Good amount of pressure. Fair amount of pressure as we pull on it like that. You get that glossy reflection of our water off of the night sky. It's going to be fantastic. Now, all we need to do is add a little mustache shape in there. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Have you heard of the mustache shape? Josh's famous mustache? It's not my mustache. It's not very impressive, my mustache. So it can't be my mustache, but it must be the shape that we create with our brush, right? And I'll show you this mustache shape probably 7 or 8 times throughout the whole painting now that we're into our ocean scene. So pay attention and then you'll understand the mustache shape, right? So we're going to take our little teeny tiny little brush like that over there, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to go down and up. Actually, let's come in from the side and go zip, zip, just like that. Little lip, little mustache out there, right? Little thing. Now from this side, we're going to take our brush, start to swipe that little bit of white, just a little backwards, right? Right from the peak. Don't have to go all the way to the tip top of the peak, right? And it's pretty much dead sideways, just like that. Filling up this guy, pushing a little bit harder, adding a little bit more brightness in different places, right? All depends on what you want it to look like. Cha-ching! What is going on? Did somebody just order this painting? It must have. That's the only reason it tells me. Look at you guys. Who is this? Cosmic Lighthouse bought this painting. You guys can no longer have it because she owns it now. She's got this one and you can't have it anymore. And that's just how it goes over at Paint with Josh. Now that it's purchased, show's over. Everybody have a good night. I'm going to send this off to her and everybody will take care. See you later. Have the rest of a good day. No, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing. We'll finish it. Even though she purchased it, we'll finish it. Just like that, right? A couple little bits, little light areas, little dark areas. Maybe there's a far off little wave way back there, and then it's got a little darker area in between. All right, those little slits of darkness look like, to me anyway, different bits of shadow way out on the ocean. Now, here's the fun part with the crasher. We're gonna come in like this and decide, right? We don't have to come all the way up into the mountain. You don't have to. We're gonna start over here and start to tap up just right above the horizon. Boop. Right? And then we're going to come down the other way. Like a little arc. Just like the family. A little arc shape right there. We're going to grab onto this guy. Slide him down to the side. He's going to eventually line up with a little flick like that. A little flick like that. And a little flick like that. And what do we call this little spot right here? Does anybody know what that little X marks the spot is? Who knows what that little spot is? The pivot point, says Jess G. Girl, you must watch my show. Jess G just got pinned right there. Now, everybody go follow the person who gets pinned, because one day you're going to be the person who gets pinned right here, and you're going to want everybody to come follow you. So don't be mean. Go follow. Whoever answers my questions, they get pinned, and then we have a good time. Now, the pivot point, as she was saying, right, because eventually we're going to treat this like the center of a clock. It goes all the way around, right? So remember that little term that we just said. I'm not going to say it again, so you might want to ask somebody in the comments. Remember that term, because we're going to talk about it when we come over here. Now we're going to take the white paint that's on the rest of our brush. We're just going to start to flick back, right? But we're not going straight up. We're going to start to go a little sideways, a little rotational. Until what did we just line up with? Our what? What's it called? Because I've already forgotten. You guys got to tell me. You got to tell me what it's called. And then you might just get a follow if you remember already what that little point is called. The Reckless was the first person I saw. Oh, no, it was Frank Rodriguez. Somebody, here we go. Frank Rodriguez couldn't pin that comment. What about King Najee? Can we pin this one? Boom, everybody go follow King Najee for knowing pivot point, right? Because we've attached to our pivot point right here. Now we're going to come back to this same spot, just like the hands of a clock, right? They're attached to that little section right in the middle. That's all we need. So then over here, I'm going to start swiping down, going back to the same spot, right? Same area right there. Now this guy, he's going to be our wave as it starts to slide down here. So then you can start to decide, what do you want your little wave to start looking like as it pivots and we go on the other direction, and I show you the little mustache shape again, right? The little mustache. You're like, where? I don't see it. I don't see the mustache. All right, we've got our two bits of water that come up like this. They're little peaks. One side going down this way, one going down this way. Got our little mustache, just like out here. Little mustache shape, little mustache shape, little mustache shape. That's 3 I've showed you already. I told you I was going to show you like 7. So there's probably not going to be 7. There's probably going to be 3. But we got to pull down in the opposite direction of how we're pulling up over here. So if you imagine, you come up, you go down, right? Little mustache shape. Whoop, 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 whoop. Going down the other way, right? Now, in here, we're not going to fill underneath. Right here, got to leave that dark separator, except for that one point that I showed you, right? I love how it looks when you get one spot that's going to spill over. It needs to be a little bit brighter right here. There we go. It's going to spill down and spill over while everything else is going to be in the shadow. It's going to be awesome. So, coming up, leaving about a 1/4 inch underneath there. And a 1/4 inch is the exact amount of space that we're going to talk about down here in the sand. So remember that number, and I'll give you a follow, or we'll try to get you a follow later. Now we're going to come in here with the remainder of paint that's on the brush and just pop in a little bit of an eye, right? Doesn't need anything crazy. You can get it brighter if you want. Put some more white in there. It's all going to mix in with the colors underneath, and it's going to want to grow when we hit it with our P2, which is what? We already talked about P1 being the amount of paint that's on the brush or on the canvas. Right, so our P2 is our what, guys? What's that P2? Does anybody know? I'm going to put a brush down. I'm going to come back here. Does anybody know? Pressure, Jess G. Literally first person I saw. Looks like Tinker said it first though. So let's get Tinker up there. Can't pin that comment. Looks like Jess G. Gonna pin your comment. There you go. Jess G's getting them today, man. Go follow Jess G, everybody. I swear, if you're the person that gets pinned, you're gonna want everyone else to come follow you when it's your time. So make sure you go follow them because they know the questions. You only get follows if you know the answers around here, right? Now, here comes another chance, another quick chance. What's that little dark line called that we talk about all the time? We left one back here, right? We're leaving them all over the place. So does anybody know that little dark line and what that name is for it? What does Josh call that little thing as we start to pull this little bit out a little harder as we go, right? The harder you pull on it, the softer it's going to get and the more it's going to move. Dark separator. Where is it? Allie. What was that it? Allie. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Alizarin. I don't know. I can't pin this comment. Fantastic. Bethany, can we pin you? Bethany's gotten it. Dark separator. I gave it to you, but you misspelled it. Separator. Gotta have that tor in there. The dark separator. And I'm going to explain why we need that dark separation a little bit later, right? You can already start to tell back here. It's almost like a little shadow of that wave, that little lip of water that's back there. That's going to sell your painting. That little dark separator. Don't lose it, right? And of course, that dark separator runs along behind our wave back to about that spot back there. Runs along back there, right? So even though it's behind the water, it's still there. Let's come into here with our bit of white. We're going to start making our little rotational crashy bits, right? So we're going to come up, we're going to touch the tip top, not back here, right? Not where we started. Tip top. Rotate over, just like that. Touch, mush, and spin the brush. That's all you got to do, right? I touched it, and then I went and just rotated the brush with my fingers. And whatever came off, stuck there. Perfect. Exactly what we want. Now, we've got the dark side of the brush, right? And then the Jedi side and the Sith side. So let's get some more paint on the Jedi side of the brush, the light side of the Force. We're going to turn our brush, our entire rotation, right? We've been going like this the whole time. Going like that, right? Now watch. Whoop! I'm going to turn the brush so the handle is back here behind my arm like a Terminator, just like my tattoo, guys. Have you seen this tattoo? This tattoo is all the tendons in my tattoo, right? Are brush handles, which means theoretically that there's a brush inside my hand at all times ready to pop out and paint. So turn the brush back this way, which is going to force our angle to be different, right? It's not going to be like this anymore because we're not over here. Whoop, we're over here. So we're going to keep it back behind my hand, tucked back here like it's taped to the back of my hand, right? Then we're going to go touching here, leaving a small little dark triangle. That's our dark separator that's back there. Little dark triangle, we're going to touch and then throw it out to the side, right? Perfect. Just like that. Throw it out. Doesn't even have to go that far, but just like that. Now, what's that little piece called that we talked about when we came over to this little bright spot right there? I left it bright just so you would remember it in your mind. What's that little point called? Johnny Vaughn getting a follow from Paint with Josh, and we're going to pin your comment, Johnny, right there. Everybody go follow. Couldn't pin the comment. Fantastic. Well, Jacob, maybe we can pin Jacob's comment. Jacob knows it. Jacob knows the pivot point, right? Because we're going to come back to this spot and go a little bit lower, and then come back to the same spot, go a little bit lower, back to the same spot, a little bit lower, back to the same spot, a little bit lower, back to the same spot, a little bit lower. Pivoting out, opening up like a fan would. Open up your fan, blow it in your face, right? Just like that, a little pivot point. Now, come into here. Once we come over this guy, right? Just the littlest bit. You really only need your water to be at the top. Everything else besides what I'm showing you is going to be covered in foam, right? So it's just like a little angle that we need. Little L7 weenie that we need, right? Right over here. So we've come into the front. Now we're going to save our little dark separator back there. That's connected. That adds depth, pushes our whole wave back. You're like, oh, don't lose that section. Now we're going to come over here and start to lightly fill this part in. Again, coming back to the same spot though, right? Just like that. All of a sudden you get this little heart shape. Forgetting about this. This was just to show you guys. Watch this. Look at all the dark color underneath there. Literally get it to blend away, right? Just by using your finger. Nasty. Why do you wear gloves, Josh? No reason. No reason. I'm very handsy and I like to show people a lot of stuff. Just like that. Gorgeous little bit, right? We've kept it nice and bright on the top, right over there. So any little bit of brightness off the moon or wherever the light source, maybe the light source is up here out of the frame, shining down on the top. We've got our light of our eye. Now, here's the next bit, right? How does this part of our wave connect to this part of our wave without looking all funky, right? Probably one of my favorite things to do is the little rotation of the phone. So what I like to do is start at either right about the bottom or about an inch lower than our brightest area. Start going straight sideways, right? In this case, look where we've automatically lined up with just by going straight sideways, and then we're starting to come down and come down and come down and come down, leaving a little angle just like this, right? Little angle just like that. So you have your flat area of your water, and then it starts to rotate as we come in. We're making little tighter circles and tighter circles and tighter circles and tighter circles. And oh my goodness, right? We don't want to come in all the way back here. That's our deepest, darkest, shadowiest area. It doesn't get any paint at all. Just stays dark, just like that, right? These guys, of course, the more paint you have on the brush, the more they're going to want to start to grow up. And the longer that you come out this way, the more sideways they get, lining up with our little bits of our water and our waves, right? Come down here. You can start to shape it however which way you want. I like this little S shape, right? When I used to do Bob's videos, he would just take the wave off the side, put a giant rock in the front, and I got sick of doing that because there's only so many ways to paint the same ugly rock that's sitting up here with a lot of paint, a lot of texture, and it's like blocking out most of our painting, right? So I decided I was going to try to figure out a way to sort of make it look more water-like, at least in my own mind, by adding little different angles, right? Our little mustaches coming up like that, right? Where the water meets. The water meets, the water meets, where it meets back here, right? There's little teeny tiny ones that are way off in the distance that we can't even see. And this one is the biggest mustache of all, the most giant wave where we're starting to come over. Now, we've got that bit done. In this one, we're going to try to leave a little area for some sand so I can show you how to do the sand. And actually, we're going to do that part first. So let's come back over here, wiping off our brush, get it nice and clean. Use a brand new brush for Cosmic Lighthouse's painting. I didn't know she was going to buy it. I just wanted to use a brand new brush. So these are those GAC Doctor brushes that I talk about. You can find them in my Amazon affiliate store, which is amazon.com/shop/paintwithjosh. GAC Doctor. It's the, I mean, how would you say it? How would you say it? Am I saying it wrong? How would you do it? All right, now look, I'm going to try, I'm going to try to get away with using just the amount of white that we have on the palette right here, but it's not going to happen. We're going to have to go back and get some more. So loading up our brand new brush, just like that, full of our white paint, going to come underneath. Now, how much of a space? I already said it. I've given you the answer. A good teacher always gives you the answers ahead of time. And a good student retains that information. Okay, now what is the space? What's that space in between? 1/4 inch. There you go. You guys are smart. My, oh, my. Let's pin this comment right there. My. We're going to try to give you a follow. She got 26 followers. You got 27 now with Paint with Josh, right? Isn't that amazing that literally I've got over, I think it's like close to 1.2 million followers over all of my pages. And I'm following someone who's got 26 followers. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that amazing? Like you can literally answer the questions correctly, get followed by, mega world famous artist Josh, who can't even do his hair before the show. Give me a break. I was taking a nap until like an hour before the show, and I woke up like, oh, is it? Oh my God. What time is it? What day is it? So where are we at? Oh, we were doing this. Okay, let's come back in 1/4 inch, just like they were saying. That's why we pinned the comment, 1/4 inch, leaving a little bit of white. Here comes the other chance for more pinned comments, right? So about a 1/4 inch underneath. Now we're going to have to do two different things. We're going to have to pull down and we're going to have to pull side to side, back and forth. We have to do them both, okay? Now we know which one we're going to do first, obviously, because we have to pull down, right? Now, do we use a little bit of pressure or do we use a lot of pressure? You guys tell me, and then I'll let you know. I'll show you both ways. A little bit of pressure, a lot of bit of pressure. Here's some room for some shout outs as we come in back here. What do we got? Nash says a little. Maddie says a little. Let's see. Lexi says a lot. Marley says a lot. Lily says a little. User Tammy says a little. JT says a little. Chase says a lot. Steel Trail Media says a lot. Just for Kicks says a little. Jess G says a lot. Let's see. Creative Fitness Channel says a little. Right? Rosa says a little. Coco says a little. Seems like you guys have probably never seen my show before, but that's okay. I love brand new people, right? So I'm going to show you both ways. Since we have a lot of comments saying a lot and a lot of comments saying a little, I'm going to show you both ways, and then you guys answer me a question, okay? Now, for everybody who said a little, start typing in your answer right now. Would you leave your sand looking like this by the time we get done? You're going to answer me, right? Little bit of pressure, small little bit, pull to the side, little bit, bam. Would you leave your sand looking like that? Just, I mean, there's no judgment, no anything. It's personal preference. JT says no. Crooked Teeth says no. Heather says no. Ducky says no. Secret of the Glyph says no. Creative Fitness Channel says no. They were the ones that said little. So there you go. Taught you something, right? Hell yeah, says Strip for Pat. I couldn't read the rest of it. No way, says Savannah. Frankie Rodriguez says no. Paul says no, right? So let's try it with a little bit excess pressure. We're going to push a little harder. See how we're bending the bristles? I even put my fingers up here next to it, so you can have more pressure as you're pushing down versus just holding the handle. Boom. Guess what, guys? That doesn't look like sand either. I know. You're like, this guy, right? No, this looks like this, doesn't it? If we were to rotate the canvas upside down, be like, sweet auroras, bro. Look at those, right? That's not what we want. I told you we were going to have to do two things. We were going to have to pull it down, and we're going to have to swipe it back and forth. Well, I've showed you a little bit of pressure. I've showed you a lot of bit of pressure. Now here comes the next question, right? Do we pull it backwards, away from the wave first, or do we push it towards the wave? Do we pull? Do we push? Do we go away? Do we go towards? We have to do both. Which one do we do first? Which one do we do first? You tell me, because I forget how to paint. Let's sitting. Jamie says away. Meg says away. Mariette says towards. Becky says push towards. Jada says away. Trish says away. Albie says away. Chase says away. JT says pull away. What's that? Alicia says push. Ducky says away. LOL says push toward. Jill the Spy says push. Push says the only Drizzy. What says towards? Okay, again, I'm going to show you guys both. Or we could use our brains a little bit, right? Because there's not a lot of room left in this painting for me to show you both ways. I mean, I could probably do it right here, but let's just say we've been talking about this dark separator the entire time, right? This little dark line that goes around the painting, splits up all the colors, keeps them all separate since we're only using white paint over two colors, basically, right? They're all going to start to become very similar. Now, if we're trying to keep this bit of dark line in here, and don't you think that by having the wave here, and then taking our sand and pushing it towards the wave, we're instantly going to get rid of that darkness, right? It's going to get rid of that dark line if we push it towards. If we pull it away first, what remains right there? That dark line. No matter what we do going this way, that dark line is going to remain there until we go to push it in, right? So think about it next time, right? Don't want to get rid of the dark separator. So if we push towards the wave, all of a sudden, now they're both together. That's not what you want. That doesn't give you any depth. Now your wave is part of your sand. That's not what we want at all. So let's take all these vertical swipes and we're going to pull them away from the wave first, making them all horizontal swipes, just like that, right? Leaving our dark separator. It's starting to look like a shadow, just like it does back here, doesn't it? And here, little bits, little here, little there, right? Now, we're going to be like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Got a lot of cleaning to do. Let's start our sweeping. We're going to start to sweep inwards. And we're going to take that blue color. We're going to push it towards the wave. Look how far you can get it to go in. Right? Look, I've changed the entire bit, the entire shape of the wave, just by pushing that dark separator towards it, right? Shaping it however which way we want to go. Look down here where I showed you how to go, if we did forwards and backwards, what it would look like. See how you ruined my painting? All you people that said push it towards first. I'm just kidding, right? But that's the reason why you don't want to push it towards the wave first, because your two bits of color end up coming together and you lose your dark separator. In our instance, I choose the area down at the bottom purposely because I like to bring in a bit more of a wavy action right down here. So we're going to end up taking this wave and pulling it out as far as we can anyway. But do you guys think I look like Bruno Mars with this with this hair. I'm just looking at my TV. Somebody said the other day, the brand new follower, they go, why do you look over off screen and not at the camera? And I was like, well, first, all the lights are behind the camera, so I can't see anything if I look this way. And if I'm standing over here, I've got so much glare from all the lights that I can't really see what the painting looks like. So I have to look at a camera that's behind you so I can see on my TV. Look at this. Oh, I can see my phone, I can see the painting, and I can see myself. So he goes, what do you look at when you paint? And I was like, me, as sad as that sounds, I look at me. I look at me when I paint. Isn't that sad? Oh, that's sad and conceited and just terrible. Just terrible. I look at me when I paint. I'm not really looking at me. I'm looking at the painting on the television screen so I can actually see what it looks like versus all the glare from up here and all the wet paint and the lights and everything else. So it's just a funny question. Like, what do you look at? Myself. Hysterical. Just hysterical. Okay, let's get some more paint. Got a brand new little dollop. Looks like sour cream up there. Look at that. Little sour cream dollop of paint out here. We'll try to get it closer. There we go, without knocking the camera over. Get your sour cream out, right? I'm gonna come in here. Over there, gonna load it up. Not too much. Not too terribly crazy, right? Up here, I want to add a little bit of brightness to the tip tops of the waves. A couple little things. Take that guy, going out to the other side. Little bits that are gonna be a bit brighter, right? Oh, gorgeous. Now, taking in here, we're gonna start to swipe our guy, and we may end up getting one more little dark separator out of it too. See how we turn the angle again? So you have to come down, 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 down. All depends on how you put the paint on and what direction you're pulling it. Now, these guys, watch the directional change. See how we started at the same spot, went down here, and then went over here in that same sort of little pivot point, right? Back into here, swiping it down, swiping it out, wherever we want it to go. Then we're going to come out in our little bit of splashy foam. It's going to be excellent. Look at that wave, guys. That's cool, man. If you ask me, that's the best part about doing these waves too. Like, they'll never be the same exact shape. You'll never get it to do this exactly like that again, right? It's just never going to happen. It's a one-off thing. Like once you put them on there, dang, look at that, you guys. We go off the other direction. Right, now watch. Up, down. So we go up, take the brush off, and then we go back down the other direction. Pulling off our wave, going that way. Sliding it down this way, softening it. Right now, how do you shrink your dark separator right here? Well, take it from the corner of the canvas, start sliding it upwards. Just until you get that paint just as small as you want it to be. Right? Just the teeniest, tiniest little thing. Doesn't even all have to look exactly the same. Fantastic. Okay. Let's come in here. A little bit of our excess water line right on the front. Just a little bit of thicker paint. Couple little details of some thickness out there. Just the thickness of all that foam. Watch this. You're like, oh my God, what are you doing? Just trust. Just trust. Just trust in me. There we go. All right, the closer it gets to us, the more little foamy action bits we're going to see. The further away it is, the less little foamy action bits we're going to see as it starts pulling itself away that way. Now, never leaving it just like that. I'm always swiping it back up very softly, back into the wave. Helps kind of soften it down, helps it dry a couple days faster. And literally, just the smallest little thing. All right, now let's go throw in our little crashy water bit. We'll spray it on the end, and it'll be all set and done and ready to go to its new home at Cosmic Lighthouse's place. All right. Now, we need to go back to that dark mixture, right? Does anybody remember the 3 dark colors that we used in order to create this dark mix right here? The one that looks black, right? Does anybody remember? I'll give you a follow. We'll pin your comment, try to get somebody to blue, black, and crimson says Sally. And we just pinned Sally Spillman. It totally reminds me of, I was watching Family Guy yesterday, and they were making fun of Joe because he couldn't spell. He goes, well, I'm not a spellman. And he's like, Spellman? What are you talking about? He's like, fireman, policeman, longshoreman, Spellman. And he's like, starting to think that Spellman's actually a thing. So Spellman made me laugh. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we're going to come into our dark color because Spillman knows. crimson, black, and blue makes up this real dark, nasty mix. So we take that mix like that and come up here. We're going to go underneath our white, just like you're going to go cup your honey's bum. Ooh, a little pinch like that, right? She goes, hey, what are you doing, right? So just with the corner, see where the handle is? Handle's not out here like this. It's not poking straight out at the canvas, right? This is not what the brush looks like. The handle's way over here, so the brush looks like this, right? And then we're going to start to just tremble. How many people are watching? I love doing this. 696, right? Oh my God, there's 696 people watching. You start to tremble and you start to tap in, right? Just like that, little things. You don't have to hold the brush way out here. I'm just trying to show you so you can see the whole thing. My hand normally gets in the way, right? And we come up underneath like we're trying to cup the bum. Little squeeze. Got to hold up all that water. It's all trying to underneath there, right? So come in. Once we start getting down here, this is when you start going crazy nuts. And you're just smashing it against the canvas. And you come up here above our horizon and back over the top of the wave and over here and over there and just mushing it on, right? Creating this very dark S-shaped curve that we talk about all the time, right? And that dark S shape connects to our dark separator that runs along the entire painting. So can't lose the darkness. Got to save your deepest, darkest spots back in there as well. Now, as we come in and light up all that darkness, it's going to start to mix with our color. And that's why I choose our black and crimson and blue mixture. Because once it starts to mix with all the white, it'll go kind of grayish, which is going to match what the spray would actually look like, in my opinion. So, in order to do that, we need to go into our Petri dish. Have you ever seen the Petri dish? It's basically just a lid from an old Bob Ross liquid white tub that every so often we pull out some liquid white, which is like a very runny, very liquidy white paint. And that's what, it's very watery, right? That's what we use for our water. It's really, 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 really runny, like milk. So if you got it fresh out the jar and you accidentally tipped your jar over, boy, you're going to have a bad day because that's all just going to get all over the carpet, right? Versus these paints, which they won't come off, you know what I mean? They're just stuck on there. So we're going to go into a little bit of our titanium white, a little bit of our liquid white. We're going to go atop the black shadow, our dark separator, smacking a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder until you get to the tip top. And then we're going to ride these shadows all the way down. See what I mean by we don't even need that bit of water back there. That first crashing wave is all foam. It's all mixed up, broken up bits of water droplets as they're starting to come over. So don't worry about too much about our bit of water back here, right? On this big guy. Recently figured that out. Now, just like a water slide, he said, oh my God. We're going to come in here like this and just start tapping it down. Smashing it, smushing it, getting it everywhere, right? I got fans everywhere, man. Just get it everywhere. But look, what are we leaving in between? All of the stuff, all of these smashies, right? We splashies and smashies. What have we left in between all of those little bits? Because that's going to get you a pinned comment and hopefully a bunch of follows from everybody who's watching. What are we going to leave in between all those little things? Let's see. Carrie, Neil, Airy, Fairy, Faye. Look at you guys. And Amy, they all said dark, but Airy, Fairy, Faye was the first person to say dark separator. So we're going to pin her comment just like that, right? We left all these little dark areas, just like our dark separator. Left all these little dark areas in there. And that way, it can blend together nicely. Now, we take old shabby 1-inch brush. We're going to start making little circles. And as soon as we contact the canvas, then we got to start moving, right? And it's not about just making the same size circle. Sometimes we're making little circles and then you jump to a bigger circle, right? And then you work your little thing over here and then you jump to a bigger area. Jump back over here. It's not about just the same things over and over again. Make them crazy every so often. You could go nuts with it, right? Now, don't go nuts when there's liquid white involved. It's very treacherous. This little bit of white paint really wants to grow real far. So very, very, very light pressure as we come in here and we start to turn it into a little bit of a cloud and it starts to mix in with that darkness. And we're trying not to get rid of all the dark separators and we don't want all the white paint to really grow forever, right? And we don't want it all to look the same either. So that's round one. Let's go for round two. We go back in to our liquid white, that messy white paint, a little bit more of our titanium white, And then we come up here, we start a little tremble action, start tapping again. This time we're going to do less. A couple little less bits, but what do we still leave in between? Little dark separators, right? I mean, they're not as dark as they were before, but they're not as bright as the white, right? So little dark separators in there. And we're not going to work our way up because I really love the action of that wave and what it looks like. Gonna tap in a couple little bits, little teeny tiny bits of like, maybe the water's starting to just wanting to come over the top. Maybe this guy has a few little bits that streak down, right, in different areas, not all the same. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, it's gorgeous. All right, we'll come in with our bit. We're going to go, are we going to go more pressure or less pressure this time? Since we've done our first one, and I told you very light pressure because that liquid white's going to want to move a whole lot, right? So just a little teeny tiny light pressure. Now, our second time, do we need light pressure or more pressure? Lighter or more? Less or more? Daddy Life says less. Let's see. User says less. Oh, Heavy Mars says less. Courtney says less. It's like you guys watch my show or something. Brianna says less. Man, you guys are awesome. Just everybody's awesome. But you're right. Less pressure because we don't want it to mix to the exact same. So less pressure, less bits. Sometimes we don't even touch a couple little extra bits. Don't even need to touch them. All right, because what are we going to do at the end of this part anyway? Does anybody know? What are we going to do at the end of all these little splashies? Does anybody know? Have you seen the show? Spray it. That's right. User 505594 will give you a follow. And we're going to spray it. That's what they said. So I'm going to try to pin your comment here. There we go. Everybody go follow user 50594798900ers. And they know we're going to spray that paint in. Now, might as well do it since we got the little baby brush out anyway. We got some liquid white out here. Maybe enough, maybe not. We'll see. So we're going to come in here like this, and just by flicking off the side of the palette, and it basically means we're going to drag our bristles over. So as they drag backwards and then release, that's how they flick the paint out, right? So we're going to come over here, just going to do it and start doing it fast. Pop, 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 pop. All these little bits. There's not a lot of paint on the palette right here, so it's taking a while. Boom, boom, boom. Look at those. Oh, woo, that's fantastic. Just fantastic. Bang, bang, boom. Gorgeous, you guys. All these little bits fill up in that super deep, dark area that gives you all this depth. It's like your wave came down, it hit, it just shot out a million little pieces of water. Just wicked. So just like that, guys, now it's time to start coming up with a name for this painting. Cosmic Lighthouse purchased this painting, but she may have a problem naming it, right? She's purchased many Paint with Josh paintings, and maybe she's getting to the point where she doesn't know what to call him anymore. So she might need your help, or just maybe she already has it in her head, what she's going to plan on calling this, but your comment might sway her and be like, all right, look, I was going to name it this, and then I'm just going to pick the first person I see at random. But Sunny and Dave said this, Cosmic Sky, which is actually really cool. It's actually a really cool title. It's funny that that's the first person I saw. But Sunny and Dave said that, so we're going to name it that, and then you get a shout out. See what I mean? So Cosmic Lighthouse is really good about giving shout outs, especially if it's not her idea. Then she'll give you credit in the comments for naming her painting. And then it goes on the back, goes on her wall, and leaves Paint with Josh's residence forever. I'm so sad every time they leave. There we go. Let's wipe this sucker off. I'm sure we got some awesome titles in here already. Let's just take the time to clean up, because if I don't, I'm not going to do it later, and then I'm going to just be mad at myself. So, wipe this off. You guys keep commenting, unless she's already chosen a name, which would be a record speed, right? This is a big decision. My watch is like, oh, you're almost there. Keep moving around for a little bit, like I haven't been standing for the past hour. Stupid watch. Crimson Peak, that's a good one. Cosmic Aura, Cosmic Love. Ooh. Aura Splash, Waves of Dreams. Cotton Candy Waves, Cosmic Aurora, Aurora Dream, Northern Bliss, Crimson Sky, Cosmic Dream says your daddy. Hey, it's my daddy's birthday actually today, so happy birthday, my daddy. No, legit is my dad's birthday today. Aurora Surf Dream, Cosmic Bliss. Cosmic Sky it is. I like that. Is it Cosmic Sky? Because that would be fun. That was literally the first person I saw. I was like dazed and confused, or something and dazed. Hypnotic Beauty says Cosmic Fantasy. Oh, girl. Woo. Falling Stars, Cosmic Cove. I just love the word cove. And I know you guys don't want to see me in this mess, but we've got to do this section just so I can read the comments. There we go. Bring you in over here. Breath of fresh air. I dig that. Thank you. I'm sure my dad really loves that all my followers are saying happy birthday to him. Wonder Waves, Cosmic Waves, Attic Dream. No, you don't. No one likes seeing it. I'm getting my haircut tomorrow, first thing in the morning. So for tomorrow's show, for Friday Night Freestyle, I'm going to be styling. Just going to be styling and wilding out. Nick Cannon. I'm going to stay off the screen. Oh, yeah. Hypnotic Beauty likes when I play with my hair for some reason. I don't know why. Are you watching it fall out? Looking up my nose? It's all good. There we go. Now it's all full of paint. Thank you. Appreciate that. Gorgeous painting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Twinkle, twinkle, humongous glacier. I like that too. Winter's Sorrow. Cosmic Josh Splosh. Oh, I love it. Calming Cosmic. I dig that. Where is Cosmic Beauty anyway? Or Cosmic Lighthouse. I get Hypnotic Beauty and Cosmic Lighthouse confused all the time. All the time. Come on, give me a name. I'm done washing brushes. All right, that's a fib. I got 2 brushes left to wash. Oh, and I stepped on the camera. All right. Oh, really, Watch? I earned an hour towards my standing goal? Thank you. I haven't been up here standing for the past all day. Okay. Right on. Okay, what are we doing? Oh, your sister is picking the title. Okay. Mount Cosmic. Your daddy has some pretty good names every time I see one. Oh, freaking, by the way, guys, have you ever had like not to show my amazing biceps or anything, have you ever had like a bump? Like one of your veins kind of pop out? Or is my heart about to stop? Because it was a little strange. It was a little strange. And if I'm about to die, I'd like to know. I just want to know. I don't care. I just want to know. But yeah, I had like a little, like one of the veins in my bicep was like protruding. And then I kind of mushed on it and pushed it in. And then it went away. It was weird. Cosmic Peak. Woo, that's a good one. That's a good one. So I was wondering if maybe I'm going to have a heart attack at any moment. And I should say my goodbyes now, right? So just in case. There we go. Cosmic Peak. Excellent. Got that right there. Boom, boom. Number 879er. And we're calling it Cosmic Peak. Very cool. This one was painted on the 27th. It's the 27th today, right? 27th? Oh, get out of here. God. 27th. Yeah, that's it. And we're all going to go to paintwithjosh.com. What's on paintwithjosh.com, you ask? My schedule, my Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Amazon store, Amazon affiliate store, wish list, everything. Everything is on paintwithjosh.com. I even have some posters and different merch items available on paintwithjosh.com just for you guys. So if you go to paintwithjosh.com, you can either buy what I have listed over there, which is like 3 or 4 things. It's not a lot. My main store is my Etsy store, and that's the very first link you're going to come to on my website is my Etsy store. I'm going to put them in. Don't worry. I'm going to put them in. So if you want to go check out paintwithjosh.com and then head over and check out the Etsy store, I've got 28 paintings. And on this scene, we love putting them down here like they're flying over the ocean. Just like that. We've got 27 or 28 paintings available over in the store, dry, ready to ship out today. Well, tomorrow. It's already nighttime. Place is already shut. But ship out tomorrow. So head over to paintwithjosh.com, then go find the Etsy store. And it's the very first link you're going to come to is the Etsy store link. So go find that and type in TikTok when you get over to Etsy, and you'll find all the paintings we've ever done on TikTok. And just like that, guys, nice and easy. Ooh, lemon squeezy. Bruno Marsy over here'sy. You guys ever see that picture? He's like, you know what I mean? Like playing the piano or something. This big ass hair. Like I haven't been eating blue Airheads. Terrible. So, well, I love you guys. This one was named Cosmic Peak. Cosmic Peak. So, yeah, turned out fantastic. One of my all-time favorite compositions ever. I love this composition with the mountain and the big wave in the front and the crashy and the... So, yeah, I love you guys. Thank you. I thank you, Gloria. Gloria! And, yeah, I love you guys. I might come back later on tonight. I got to go get something taken care of. And then, yeah, I might come back. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe. If not, I'll be back. I'm off of work tomorrow. I don't work on Fridays. Painting is my job over the weekend. So I may go earlier during the day tomorrow. We do have the Friday night freestyle show at 8 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. So come back 8 p.m. tomorrow. Thanks, Linz. Ashley Hawkins. Appreciate you. But yeah, I've got the Friday night freestyle show tomorrow. I may do an earlier show. I've got to go to Michael's. I've got lots of stuff to do. So, but yeah, of course I took all of my paintings downstairs. We literally did a photo shoot. Me and DC, my manager, did a photo shoot, did 13 or 15 paintings, took everything downstairs. So I literally have nothing I can even show you that I have available, which is sad because I'm an idiot and I didn't bring them upstairs. So, yep, got a whole lot of nothing up here in the studio. But yeah, until then, I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Got to go figure out dinner and stuff. And then maybe I'll come back a little bit later, or I'll just fall asleep until tomorrow. So until I see you guys again, I love how your painting makes me feel. I love how that makes me feel. Like, honestly, I get messages all the time. It's like, oh my God, I just started painting because of you, or I got back into painting because of you, or this, that, and the other. Check this out. This is the first time I ever did this, and the first time I watched your video. And it's like, it's such a cool feeling. Like, it's literally insane. I mean, we did the math the other day. There's literally like 7,000 to 10,000 people watching me every second of every day. My voice is cracked right there. Every second of every day, because we had 70,000 watch hours in the last 28 days. And if you break it down to the amount of minutes and then break that down again, that's a lot of people watching every second of the day. It's just crazy to me. So, but yeah, well, I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here, and very talented. Appreciate you. Love you. Have a good night, everybody. Jasmine Christine, what's up, girl? I may come back. I kind of want to do a portal painting. Maybe later. Maybe later we'll do a portal painting. Maybe tomorrow. But until I see you guys again next time, you guys take care of each other. Take your medicine. Drink your waters. Do all that stuff. And until I see you again,